The story behind 10cc's massive hit, I'm Not in Love, from one of the guys who wrote it, Graham Gouldman. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music. Graham Gouldman, 10cc, Eric Stewart, Kevin Godley, Lal Cream, an amazing outfit. In 1975, they were on top of the world with I'm Not in Love, with that blanket, that wall of sound of the background vocals, which, as we mentioned in this clip, Billy Joel and Phil Ramone also used for Just the Way You Are. A lot of people have used that, and a lot of people have sampled it.
When I met Phil Ramone, met him a few years before we lost him, I remember I asked him, I said, how'd you do the Just the Way You Are thing, you know, that beautiful, because I've always thought, wait a minute here.
Yeah, you naughty Phil Ramone and Billy Joel, Yeah, and Billy Joel has said that they've acknowledged it, I think.
Yeah.
It's not a secret. I mean, a few people have done it, but, you can say that's a compliment.
I think it is, and he was very, he called I'm Not in Love, he says, one of the most important songs of all time. And I think, I don't know if it was him or the person who was with him who quoted the fact that when the top 100 came up and they talked about I'm Not in Love, and tell me if this is true, they said that, 10cc put it through a transistor radio to see if it still sounded good through going. Is that true?
Well, I think most studios will have a little, I don't think there's anything unique about that. I think most recording studios have a little speaker, oratones they were called.
Yeah.
The tiny little speakers that are akin to listening through a radio. So you would check the mix through that just to see what it sounded like. So it wasn't actually a transistor radio. Some people have radios in their studios to do it. So it's just to check that everything's sounding good through a little, because obviously when you stood in front of, these magnificent speakers, it sounds great, but you want to make sure that someone listening on a car radio, it's going to sound good. I'm Not in Love took a long time only because of the what we wanted to achieve, and to achieve that took a long time.
But Kevin Godley didn't like it when he first...
No, what happened was Eric and I wrote the song, but we had it as kind of like a bossa nova. So we recorded it like that. And then none of us liked it. So we actually erased that version of it. Then I think it was Kevin came up with this different rhythm for it, because we liked the song. We knew there was something going on with the song. And we recorded it with that rhythm, and then with the idea of the voices, and the rest is history.
Have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy with it on there?
Yeah.
So what's that feel like? I mean, I was just talking to Holly Knight about Love is a Battlefield, and there's a movie 13 going on 30, and all of a sudden it's this iconic scene, and I'm doing a whole series on it. So you're on the spot, buddy. But it's so big when it goes to the next level of a movie. It's kind of a cool thing. That song has a life of its own.
Yeah, it's great because it's going to go. It gets rejuvenated. People start playing it again, or it's back in the in the air. But it's great. The one thing that's weird about when you've written a song or co-written a song is when you hear it, it's someone's playing it or it's on a radio or somewhere, but you don't actually know what it is. For a millisecond, you're going, that's really familiar. And I know it's not, it's like this weird thing happens. It's beautiful.
Who came up with the line of "Be quiet, big boys don't cry"? I couldn't make out what that was saying, but I remember going the mystery of trying to figure out what, I think she was a secretary, right? What she was saying.
Yeah. I think, now the song was written by me and Eric, but Lal Cream came up with that. It was his idea. He said, we need a girl saying "Big boys don't cry." Who can we get? And Kathy came in and she did it like in 3 takes or something.
Modesty Forbids is the new album from Graham Gouldman. It's out now. We have a feature on every single track, and Graham talks about the whole LP or CD or download, depending upon what copy you have, on our sister channel, Rock History Book. There'll be a link in the description of this video where you can basically take a listen to the album and listen to the inspirations behind every single song. And again, buy a t-shirt to help us support this channel. There's links in the description of this video. More from Graham coming up next Monday. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music.